Good day and welcome back to another Legends video. In this video we're going to talk about the rating system and the changes that are going to come to it. So the rating match, or the tier list, essentially what it is a buff that Legends applies every PvP season, or changes every PvP season to help people kind of move on from just spamming the same units. So as you can see here, there's different kinds of tiers. There's tier Z, tier S, tier A, tier B, tier C, tier D. And for the most part, these tiers are designed to buff units that maybe haven't been played as much, older units and things like that. What they've done now is they've made a slight change, and you can see that evident in the tier Z there. For example, before, with tier Z units that weren't Zenkai Awakened, they would receive a 40% damage up and 35% strike and blast defense. Now, after the adjustment, they receive 40% across the board for everything, and they will also gain extra damage up for every member that's of the same episode. So obviously this is to kind of promote people moving past just abusing the Z system with leaders. For example, using something like, oh, this unit is a Z unit, but he doesn't fit on my team. I'm going to just place him as a lead on my team, or the most applicable Z unit on a very strong team that boosts him. And then basically you're facing a multiple boosted unit. Now they're going to gain even more damage if they're units with the same episode on that team. So it's going to be pretty interesting. It's kind of subverting the leader system in a sense that they brought in, because the point of the leader system was to use a unit that's not on that team so that you could kind of keep using your favorite units. And now they've changed the rating system so that it's more beneficial to use units of the same episode. The change is persistent across the board. So for tier Z, tier S, tier A, all of those sort of things, they are changing all of them. And the higher the tier, the bigger the buff you're going to get. If your unit is Zenkai Awakened units will not receive the same level of buff as other units would. Featured units are also units that are just thematically appropriate, and so they will receive the appropriate buff depending on what they are. Usually it's the newly released units, Zenkai units, etc. So that's just to promote people obviously using the most recently used unit. But you can see here all of the changes that are summarized in your news. So if you do want to go through them in detail, you can see them there. Obviously the biggest change, like I said, is that it's now you're gaining a buff per episode unit on your team. And you can see that in both the Zenkai and the non-Zenkai side. And it's just a damage inflicted bonus, but it can rack up quite a bit. 20% is quite a lot. And you can see that it's been redesigned to be quite impactful overall. The tier lists are out, so you can see which units are on those tiers. I do suggest that you guys take a look at them. It's always very helpful. It also helps when you just want to try and make a different kind of team or try something new. I'm going to be looking at the tier list and seeing what I can put together. And I think overall it's just obviously something that you should maybe take a look at. But of course it's going to be entirely up to you guys, what you build, what you enjoy putting together. But for anyone who's ever wondered what exactly the tier list means, this is what it means, and this is how it affects you in PvP based gameplay. It doesn't apply to anything else, so it only applies to ranked matches in PvP. It won't apply to anything else, not PvE, not story mode, not anything like that, so you don't need to worry about that. But yeah, remember to take a look if you are looking at getting involved in the PvP seasons, and yeah, just obviously to build your team as best you can. That's pretty much all of it for the changes. There's nothing else to note. There's a maintenance and there's some new stuff coming out, so we'll cover that. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and bye.